So Barry, another year is coming, another big event, the Champion of Champions. Just explain what that's all about.
Well, Champion of Champions is what it says on the label. Obviously, it's going to be the champions of the season finishing with the World Championship this year. 19th to 24th of November at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry, a nice new area for us where we know there's going to be lots of interest. Another £100,000 first prize, and the players who get there are going to have plenty of hard work to do because groups of four groups of four, two semi-finals and a group final every day. So punters that buy a ticket will see a winner every day. Semi-finals and finals over traditionally a longer distance than we normally be playing, which is one up for the traditionalists who like to see the game. No shot clock, it is the creme de la creme. And I think it'll be the beginning of another major event.
It must be getting difficult to find spaces in the calendar to fit these new events in.
Well, that's half the fun, isn't it? I mean, it's a jigsaw puzzle. We're putting all the bits together. Every time we think we've run out of diary, we find a couple of days everywhere. But, you know, what a wonderful position to be in. You know, sport is just the same as business. It's all about supply and demand. You know, once the demand exceeds the supply, the price goes up, the prize money goes up, people's interest goes up. And we're in that. We're riding the crest of a wave on that at the moment, which is why we've gone from 3.5 million to 8 million and going to go a lot further. But, you know, don't kid ourselves. We're a long way from the finished article. We're still miles behind golf and tennis, and we shouldn't be, because the appeal of this sport is global, is the 300 million people watching the World Snooker Championships over the world live this year. It's reaching numbers that we've never reached before. And now we have to start acting as much of a professional sport as we claim to be. First things first, diary full. Second things first, opportunity to players. Third thing first, sit back and enjoy it.
So you're not buying into any hints of burnout, because a few players have come in and said, look, the championship, the season is really long and we're knackered.
Can you believe this burnout nonsense? I've never heard anything like it. Okay, burnout. Tell the man in the street who's struggling to pay his bills that a professional sportsman has a problem with burnout. Number one, pick and choose what events you want to play. By all means, there's no problem to that. Number two, look at the lifestyle you're getting with the new prize money levels. Number three, look at all the kids coming in who are challenging for your position, young man. You know, burnout is something that exists in the head. I'm sorry to be so basic about it. If you lead the right life, now, if you're not in the gym these days, if you haven't got a proper dietitian or you don't understand what you're eating, you better get it resolved, because this is not a part-time boys club. This is a proper professional sport. If you can't rise to the challenge, then you must be prepared to pay the consequences, and that is a drop down the rankings as the new blood comes in with the keenness, with the energy, with the discipline and the professionalism. You could be in trouble. So it's all about level playing field across the draws. Best man wins on the day. Best prepared man wins on the day. If you've got a burnout issue, health problems or wherever, I understand. Pick your dates. Don't play in every event. It's not a problem. But bear in mind what happens if you don't. You drop down the rankings.
And you're really looking forward to this open format, say, especially, for example, with something as prestigious as the UK Championship. It's a level playing field, 128 players turn up in York, and the best one wins.
Isn't that what sport's all about? You know, we've had so much protectionism in this game. We've had the top 16 players almost guaranteed if they get out of bed, they're guaranteed a living. That's the death knell for any sport. The guarantees are just absolutely not on at all. You know, take the golf module. If you don't make the cut, doesn't matter who you are, you go home with nothing. That's how sport should be, because these guys playing sport are the luckiest people in the world. God's given them some ability. They've got a job that you, I, and a million kids out there would cut their arm off for. So I've got no sympathy. My job is to give them the opportunity. Their job is to take the opportunity, get themselves in the best shape and be as professional as they can to make the most of that opportunity. If they don't, they've only got themselves to blame.
You're quite excited about a development in India. How close are you to securing a tournament over there for the autumn?
Well, very close, very close. Hopefully we can get that signed off in the next couple of weeks. And I'm very excited because I see another potential huge market for snooker. You know, we know it's well publicised how big China's been for us. It continues to be the major place for ranking events in the world. And I don't see any reason why in a few years' time India won't be chasing them for that title.
Another interesting topic that came up was in the press conference is the length of time certain players have taken breaks for during matches outside intervals. Is that something that you're looking to address?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm also looking to address the medical problems that obviously a lot of snooker players have where they have to go to the toilet every 5 minutes. In discussions with WPBSA, as all our discussions are with Jason Ferguson and his board of directors, we're looking to bring in some maximum rules. Number one, as a live sport, I can't possibly tolerate breaks during play. I mean, I think unless you've got a doctor's certificate and a very, very dodgy prostrate, I can't see that that's ever going to be anything other than gamesmanship, to be perfectly brutal about it. Secondly is the number of toilet breaks. It seems to become part and parcel of every frame. Now, that's not fair on the paying customer that's sitting there waiting for you to play or the live audience on TV. These things have got to be addressed, and we'll be sitting down with the WPBSA after the World Snooker Championships and coming out with a new code of conduct to let everyone know how we feel. But, I understand it. I'm getting old myself. I know that, toilet breaks can be a problem, but it's just common sense. And I think we've got to empower the referees more to make sure that they understand the rules as well, that we cannot possibly allow too many interruptions to the field of play. You can imagine if halfway through the Wimbledon final someone decided to want to go to the toilet, what type of reaction they'd get. Though why are we doing it, I don't know. But I don't like it, and it will stop.
Have you enjoyed watching this World Championship? There have been so many upsets and characters like Poomjang coming through and beating Stephen Maguire, getting into the second round. So many world champions being knocked out in the first round. It's been so hard to predict.
I think the pressure on these players is enormous, because I think they're all looking on this move to prize money ranking lists coming in this time next year. Everything will be based on money won. So every round in the World Championships has a really major effect on your rankings going forward. The pressure's never been more intense because the rewards have never been so huge. And the future rewards are going to get huger and huger. It certainly sorts the men out from the boys, but it's the boys that seem to be coming through with all the answers. I'm seeing a lot of youngsters out there grasping their opportunity. I mean, obviously the one they're all talking about, Michael White, who knows how far he'll go, but at this moment in time, he looks the part and he's played super well, and he's grasping the challenge that youngsters grasp in sport when they see opportunity. It's two different worlds when you're trying to hold on to something as opposed to trying to win something. Winning is easier than holding on, because Father Time sometimes doesn't take excuses.
Great stuff. Excuse me. Quick question about this poker thing for Ivan. So, Barry, over the final weekend of the Championship, there's a major poker event happening at the Grosvenor here in Sheffield. Just explain who it's open to and what it's for.
Well, this is an idea that came up from Grosvenor House Casinos and World Snooker on behalf of Bluebell Wood, the children's hospice that we support here in Sheffield. We thought it might be fun while the greatest snooker match in the universe is going on, last 2 days, the final of the World Championships, to actually at that same stage a poker tournament in Sheffield, the World Snooker Poker Championships, in aid of Bluebell Wood, and I think 120 players are going up there. It's £550 to enter. Everyone's giving 10% of their prize money to Bluebell Wood. Apart from me, I'm giving 100% because I've got no chance of winning. But it's a great way of raising money, drawing a bit more attention to the World Snooker Championships, having some fun, which is what sport's all about, really. And, as I say, Bluebell Wood are going to raise significant funds for them. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a few snooker players in it, but most important, we've got sort of a roving seat. So we've got one seat. While there's chips in front of it, there'll be different snooker players sitting in that seat. So it'll be fun. And, we'll enjoy it and raise much needed funds for the kids.